all over the tri-state area and regularly appears at the Funny Stop in Akron. Let's give a big Norwalk welcome to Roger Samblanet.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening, Norwalk. All right. Well, it looks like tonight we're going to have a good time tonight. My day started out kind of shitty this morning, though. Started out with my wife yelling at me, "Get up, you gotta go to work, you gotta go to work, get up, you gotta go to work." Pissed me off, because I don't have a job. And getting up early isn't gonna make a job find me any sooner. So I did have a good job, though. My employer found out a long time ago I got in trouble for smoking on a bus. This is before the smoking ban even. But I guess back then you weren't even allowed to smoke on a bus. Especially when it's marijuana. And you're the bus driver. And it was a school bus. Is that a bong up there? Yeah, it looks like it. That's why I kind of decided to do comedy. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight on this freezing cold night. I hate January. January sucks. My birthday's in January. I turned 40 January 4th, 6 years ago. And I learned that when you're in your mid-40s, you take things a lot different than when you were in your 30s. Like I used to make fun of them Depends commercials on TV. I can use these things now. He calls me down the basement and I go down there and he's like, "Well, Mr. Samblanet, I got bad news for you." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Well, you're going to need a new furnace and it's going to be $5,500. As soon as he said $5,500, I went, "Excuse me, there better not be anybody in the toilet." Viagra's the same way. I used to think, how could you not get an erection? But now I use this product. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not ashamed of the truth. But the first time I used it, I had one of them bad reactions. I had the 4-hour erection. I had to call my doctor. I said, "Doc, you know, I took that Viagra you give me, and my wife and I had sex 4 hours ago, and I still have an erection." He said, "Well, did you ever think of having sex twice?" I said, "I thought of it, but my wife," he said, "she doesn't want to have sex twice in 4 hours." I said, "No, she's been asleep for 3 hours and 55 minutes. He said, "Well, come down to the office, and I got just the thing for you, no problem, you know. I'll give you a prescription, fix you all up." So I go down to the office, and my penis is taking the lead on this one. It's like driving me there. It's like it was a Doberman pincer looking for its favorite fire hydrant. And I'm talking to it like it's a dog too. I'm like, "Down, boy, whoa, down, wheel." And it ain't listening. Because it doesn't have ears. Well, it don't. So I get to the doctor's office, and that was so embarrassing because apparently during our phone conversation he had the speakerphone on. And I walk in there and the receptionist is like, "How's it going, big guy?" I said, "Hey, I'm supposed to be the comedian here." Then she goes, "Well, Doc will be with you in a moment. If you just want to have a seat in our waiting room." Then she starts laughing and she says, "In your case, you might want to stand." And that's when I went, "Where's the restroom at?" So that kind of made me nervous. Oh boy. Well, it's January 19th. Everybody probably shot their New Year's resolution to hell by now, huh? Who all had a New Year's resolution? Everybody? Not a damn soul. You're all afraid to admit it because you all already ruined it, didn't you? Except for the people that made them resolutions that they're going to keep, like they make a resolution like they give up something they don't like. Yeah, like my wife. She comes downstairs on New Year's Day, she goes, "Guess what I'm giving up for New Year's?" I said, "What, honey?" "I gave up giving you blowjobs." I said, "I know, since 1994. I'll give something else up." I decided I was going to try to quit drinking for my New Year's resolution. And I did. It's been 19 days so far. I woke up on New Year's Day, and I went to have my usual breakfast of Jack Daniels and Coke. I got out the bottle of Jack Daniels and went to pour it. I said to myself, you know, I don't need alcohol to make it through the day. I don't need alcohol to cover up my problems of the day. So I put the cap back on the bottle of Jack Daniels, put the bottle of Jack Daniels back in the liquor cabinet, and then I did a line of Coke and started the day. Oh, I'm drug-free, dear, I'm drug-free. So after the show, if anybody's planning on doing any drugs, I'm free. I have friends of mine that still smoke marijuana. And my one friends always tell me, "Dude, man, pot should be legal. If alcohol's legal, then pot should be legal." And I don't know, what if it was legal? What if marijuana was legal? How would you manufacture this product? I mean, marketing-wise. What, are you going to have these advertisements like, "Got pot"? Or maybe, "Pot, the other green leaf." Or, "Pot, it's not just for concerts anymore." Even if it was legal, I wouldn't smoke marijuana, because marijuana is a depressant. And I've been married for 16 years. I don't need to be any more depressed than I am already. A lot of people ain't laughing at that. They must be married too. Now my one friend says to me, he's single, he says, "You're lucky, you're married, you can have sex anytime you want it." Can I get to the punchline first? Usually it's just the guys that laugh at that one. Sex anytime I want. Yeah, my wife and I's got 2 kids. We gotta schedule sex. My wife says, "We're gonna have sex once every 3 months, whether you're horny or not." God, when them 3 months come around, I'm ready to jump the neighbor's dog if it strays into my yard. And when it does come around, it usually goes something like this. I'll come skipping through the door home in a good mood. "Guess what, honey? Guess what today is?" And she says, I know, let's get this over with." I say, "Honey, ain't you gonna put out your cigarette first?" She says, "Why? I'll be done with you before I'm done with this cigarette." We've been married a long time. We try to spice things up, you know. Last time we had sex, I rented a porno movie and thought we'd watch it and get turned on by it and stuff. And I was really turned on, because these girls, they get into it. They're like, "Come on, give it to me, you stud. Come on, come on." So I asked my wife, I says, honey, why don't you talk during sex? And she says, why? I said, well, what turns me on? So we're having sex, you know, and she goes, come on, aren't you done yet? And I said, no, it hasn't been 2 minutes yet. And she said, well, let's snap it up. Desperate Housewives are on. Let's go. I'm not done all night yet here. But I gotta admit, though, I do have a good wife. I mean, you know why our marriage has worked this long? Because of me. Now, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to be a joke. Just hear me out here. No, it's because of me, because I knew what I was getting into when I got married. And I don't think some of my friends knew what they were getting into when they got married. Because marriage for guys, it's like a drug or a prescription. It has a lot of different side effects. That's why I think they should put like a Surgeon General warning right on the marriage license for the groom-to-be. That way, right before he signs his marriage license, he can look up and see warning. The Surgeon General has determined that marriage causes stress, tension headaches, loss of friends, excessive aging, schizophrenia, stomach ulcers, alcoholism, drug abuse, hair loss, sexual dysfunction caused by loss of testicles, loss of hobbies, loss of sports cars and or motorcycles, mood swings, obesity, inability to make decisions on your own, and last but not least, blindness around attractive women. Single guys. Is there any in here? Seems like there's a lot of couples. Single guys should be writing this stuff down. Of course, you might have had some of these side effects, like the blindness around attractive women. You know what I'm talking about there? Where you might be walking through the mall with your girlfriend, and a good-looking girl walks by, and you kind of give her that little look. And your girlfriend grabs you by the arm and yanks you. What are you looking at? We all do the same thing, don't we, guys? What? I ain't looking at nothing. Yeah, well, once you're married, them kind of looks start costing you jewelry if you ever want to have sex with your wife again. Trust me on this one. My wife's got more jewelry than Liz Taylor now. Well, Valentine's Day is coming around the corner. Everybody get their Valentine's Day card for their wife or girlfriend? Or no? Good. Because I'm marketing my own Valentine's Day cards. No Hallmark shit. This is real Valentine's Day cards. For example, this is one I gave my wife a couple of years ago. To my wife of 15 years. When our love was fresh and new, I made a sacred vow to you. Though we are no longer friends, we'll stay married till the bitter end. Love you. Somewhat. So she liked that so much, she made one for me last year. Really, I got a whole bunch of them here. If anybody's interested in purchasing them after the show. To my husband, my Valentine. So many years we've been together, and you are still my man. I think back to that day in church when I probably should have ran. You promised me a house and kids, and I guess you did deliver, because now we have 2 spoiled brats in a trailer by the river. Every time I read that, I get all warm inside. How about an older couple? Any older couples you might be interested in this one? Been married a long time? Over 25 maybe? Retired? Over 25, 30 years? Okay, here's one. Okay, this is from an older woman to her husband. I still love you through the years since we've been together. Our love is everlasting, and your skin is just like leather. So when I think back in time of when I used to nag you, that's probably one main reason why you need Viagra. So ladies, if you're looking, I got this one for sale. And for your husband, I have one for him too. This will be the last card, then I'll leave you guys. Our love is priceless. Since I have retired, we argue pretty much. When I try to love you, you tell me not to touch. So here's $100, go shop and take the car. That will free me up to go to the titty bar. I think that's worth $100. Yeah, I got a couple more here, but I'm going to skip them. I think my time's about almost up. I'm going to leave you with that joke I heard at a bar this week. Okay, there's these two guys on a porch, Woodland Wood, from West Virginia. Is anybody from West Virginia here? All right, I don't want to offend anybody. All right, I'm not going to offend. All right, there's these two guys on a porch from Norwalk, Ohio, Woodland Wood. The first guy's name's Cecil, and the other guy's name's Festus. And Cecil asks Festus. He says, "Hey, Festus, you want to play a game?" And Festus says, "Yeah, Cecil. What's it called?" Cecil says, "It's called 20 questions. I'll think of something, and you have 20 questions to figure out what I'm thinking." And Festus says, "Okay." So Cecil takes out a piece of paper, he writes on it, "donkey dick." Folds it up, sticks it in his pocket, and Festus asks the first question. He asks, "Well, can you eat it?" And Cecil says, I don't know. I guess you can eat it." And Festus says, "Is it donkey dick?" Hey, thank you very much. My name is Roger Samblanet. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. That was great.
All right.